Are you relying on beneficiary designations to pass on your assets? You might think you're avoiding probate and keeping things simple, but what if I told you that this could be a huge mistake? A mistake that could cost your loved ones tens of thousands of dollars, lead to court battles, and even put your children's inheritance in the wrong hands. Hi, I'm Chuck Roulet. I'm an estate and elder law planning attorney licensed in both Florida and in Minnesota. I help families avoid costly estate planning mistakes. And today, I'm going to expose the hidden dangers of using beneficiary designations as your estate plan and what you can do instead to protect your family's future. But before we begin, if you haven't already, make sure you click the like and subscribe button so you'll be notified when I post new videos like this one. Have a question? Post in the comments below and I may answer it in an upcoming video. And if you stay until the end, I'll share some resources where you can discover more. Now, I get it. The main reason people use beneficiary designations is to avoid probate. When you name a beneficiary on an account or an asset, that account or asset transfers directly to them when you pass away. No courts, no waiting, no probate fees. It sounds like a great idea, right? But here's the problem. Beneficiary designations can go horribly wrong in ways most people never expect. So here's the first hidden danger, and that's if you have minor children. So for starters, minor children cannot legally inherit assets. If you name a minor as a beneficiary, guess what happens? The court steps in. A judge decides who will manage the money until the child turns 18. And when they do, they get it all outright. And I've seen firsthand how disastrous that can be. For example, I have a client whose ex-husband passed away very unexpectedly. He had named their minor children as beneficiaries on multiple accounts. Now, after he passed, that meant she had to go to probate, get appointed as a conservator, and then pay tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes. And when her kids turn 18, they're going to get a lump sum with no protection. If you've ever seen what happens when an 18-year-old inherits a large sum of money, well, let's just say it's rarely good. Now, the second hidden danger is divorce, lawsuits, and bankruptcy. So even if your children are adults, naming them outright as beneficiaries can put their inheritance at risk. Once they inherit, that money's theirs, meaning if they get divorced, their spouse could walk away with half. If they get sued, their inheritance could be seized. And let's not forget about medical emergencies. A study from Harvard University found that unpaid medical bills are the #1 cause of consumer bankruptcy. So even people with health insurance can find themselves in financial ruin if they lose income due to an illness. So if your child has to file for bankruptcy, their inheritance could be wiped out. Now, the third hidden danger is what if a beneficiary dies? What happens if the person you named as a beneficiary passes away before you? Now, it depends on how the beneficiary designation was set up. So sometimes the money goes to their surviving spouse. Sometimes it goes to their children, your grandchildren. But if those grandchildren are minors, guess what? You've just kicked their inheritance into the probate court. And here's the real kicker. If your child was divorced, the court may put their ex-spouse, their child's other parent, in charge of managing the money. Would you really want your child's ex controlling your grandchildren's inheritance? And if it goes to their surviving spouse, it's now theirs to do with what they want. And if they remarry, it may end up going to their new spouse. So how would you feel if you discovered the money you intended to go to your children and grandchildren ended up in the hands of people you never even knew? Now, the fourth hidden danger, tax consequences. So beneficiary designations actually override your will and trust. So if you have an estate large enough to be subject to federal or state estate taxes, and remember, states like Minnesota tax estates as low as $3 million, you could accidentally trigger massive tax bills. I've seen families lose hundreds of thousands of dollars in avoidable taxes because their parents had great trusts set up, but their assets were directed straight to their kids via beneficiary designations, bypassing all the tax-saving strategies they had in place. And here's an extreme example. A colleague shared a story about a gentleman who had a life insurance policy that, as part of a divorce settlement, named his ex-wife as the beneficiary. He later remarried and had kids with his new wife. But when he passed away, his ex got the full life insurance payout tax-free. Meanwhile, his new wife and kids had to pay the estate tax bill out of their own inheritance. Can you imagine paying taxes on money that goes straight to your spouse's ex? So, what's the solution? A properly structured trust. Instead of relying on risky beneficiary designations, a well drafted trust allows you to avoid probate, control when and how your beneficiaries receive their inheritance, protect their inheritance from divorce, lawsuits, and bankruptcy, reduce or eliminate estate taxes, and can even ensure your wishes are carried out exactly as you intended. So, this is why so many of our clients choose to use a trust over simple beneficiary designations. It provides real protection for their family's future. So, now that you know the risks of using beneficiary designations, if you would like to discover more or book a consultation to discuss your own planning, visit us at roulettelaw.com. I'm also hosting an online masterclass where I'm going to reveal the strategies I use with my private clients and their families to help them avoid probate, save on taxes, protect the money they leave for their children and grandchildren, and much more. And you can join us by clicking the link in the description below to sign up. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more estate planning insights, and share this with anyone who could benefit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or an upcoming masterclass. Be well.